Let me ask you something. Have you already felt like you failed this year, even though it's just started? Do you already feel behind, tired, or slightly ashamed? If yes, you want to hear this. You're not failing. This year hasn't even started yet. Well, according to history and psychology. Hi, my name is Yaroslava Vader, and if you're watching this in January, chances are that you're feeling the pressure. Pressure to be better, pressure to move faster, pressure to already have a momentum. And I want to offer you a different way of seeing time. I call it the inner year wheel. It was inspired by ancient rhythms, especially from ancient Rome, but adapted to our nervous system and how it actually works for us today. This is not about productivity. It's not about discipline. It's about timing. Here is something we don't talk about enough. January is the worst possible month to demand a change for yourself. It's dark, it's cold, your body is still coming down from December. Biologically, we're even slower in winter, lower energy, need more rest. And yet, we have collectively decided that January 1st is when we should reinvent ourselves, optimize our lives, and suddenly become more disciplined. No wonder so many people feel like they failed before January is even over. But what if the problem isn't you? What if the problem is the calendar? Let me take you back for a moment. In the 16th century, Pope Gregory XIII realized that the calendar, that was introduced by Julius Caesar, was slowly drifting out of alignment with the solar year. The Julian calendar assumed a year's length of 365.25 days. This was 11 minutes per year too long. Over centuries, this small difference accumulated in causing the spring equinox to shift earlier in the calendar. As a result, the religious Easter day moved further and further away from its intentional seasonal position. To correct this, Pope Gregory XIII introduced a calendar reform. This reform became later known as the Gregorian calendar. Over time, the difference between the Julian and the Gregorian calendar has continued to grow. Today, the Julian calendar is 13 days behind the Gregorian calendar. This means that the new year would enter on the 14th of January. And if we go even further back in time, the earliest Roman calendar, about 753 BCE, the new year started on 1st of March and had only 10 months, from March to December. Winter wasn't even counted as time. It was considered dead days. A pause, a liminal space. No planning, no starting wars, no new projects. Just wait. The year officially began in ancient Roman Empire, March 1st. Why? Because that's when life returned. Nature started to wake up, the farming began, the military campaign started, movement that followed nature. Proof of this you can find in our current calendar. September, which means the 7th month in Latin, October the 8th, November the 9th, and December the 10th. So yes, ancient Romans only had 10 months. January and February were added later by a Roman king named Numa Pompilius, who thought it was unreasonable to have a dead month in winter. He named January after Janus, the god with two faces, one looking back and one looking forward. February came from Februa, which was a name for a purification ritual. And this part really matters. February was not a month for achievement. It was a month for cleansing, for forgiveness, and for ending the year. The Romans did not end the year in December, like us. The Romans ended their year in February. Only after that, on March the 1st, the new year truly began. So if January feels off and you feel unmotivated, it means your body knows something your calendar has forgotten. And this is where your inner year wheel comes in. Phase 1. Look back and close the last year. From January 1st to January 14th. This is not the time to set new goals. This is the time to close the previous year. And I recommend one simple exercise. Write 3 lists. 1 for what went really good last year. 1 for what did not work and maybe even hurt. And 3, what you wanted to do but just didn't have the energy for. No fixing, no judging, just witnessing. And after this, my favorite part, create a video of last year. Put together clips, photos, moments from last year, not primary for social media, but for personal closure. Later, if you want to share it, you can do it with the people you love. This phase is about honoring what was good and then closing the year and turning the page. Phase 2, vision and planning, which is from January 15th to January 31st. Now you turn your face forward, just like Janus. This is where you choose your direction. There's different ways to do it. I do something I call 3 intention circles. Here I draw 3 circles, 1 for energy, what gives you life, 2 for relationships, who you want to care for, and 3 for creation, what you want to contribute with this year. These are your orientation points for the year. Lastly, phase 3 is the purification and the restoration February. I love this part. This is the month for forgiveness, recovery, and presence. February is not a grind month. Historically, it never was. In February, I recommend slowing down on goals, go swimming, sit in sauna, explore yoga, take nature walks, sit in silence, and write a journal. 4 days a week if you can. This is great for your nervous system. One simple February exercise that I can highly recommend is to write your old story about yourself and your old identity. Who you were last year, what you didn't like about yourself. And then you close this page and you write it into your new story that you tell yourself every day until you believe it. Same happenings, but in a different view. For example, my old story could be, things are not good in my life. I have no job, no friends, no partner, maybe I even got a little bit of fat. The new story, I'm super employable, driven, surrounded by amazing people, and the right person is waiting to come into my life. I'm exercising daily, and I love my body. February is about becoming empty enough so that you can receive new positive energy and mindset. And then you have the phase 4, which enters on March the 1st. This is the real new year, and I recommend to go outside, wherever you live. I live in Sweden, it's cold, yes, but for this exercise, take off your shoes, feel the ground, stand still, and take 3 deep breaths. Then you say this out loud. Now I step into the new year, I release what was, I forgive myself completely. I choose to move forward without guilt, and this is my year. That's it. No fireworks, just presence. So to summarize, you are not behind on your goals now in January. Don't rush into the New Year's resolution. This year has not even started yet. If this video helped you breathe, relax, and put things in perspective, save it, share it, and send it to somebody who's being hard on themselves right now. Remember, this year starts when you are ready.